Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Once again, back here for another video. First and foremost, call Allah Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors once again go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who deserve double honor. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim out there on highways and byways, pushing this truth with all sincerity, trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect, because as we know, time is growing short. This is Naaman with the DC camp, and yeah, I gotta make this video because this is from Politico, and this jackass down here in Florida, Governor DeSantis, or DeSatan as some people call him. You know, it's not so much about him. It's just, it amazes me how, well, then again, no, not so much anymore as it used to, but our people keep falling for the bullshit. And what I mean by that, there's this, I'm going to read it. It says, DeSantis defends banning African American so-called studies course as black leaders call for action. And what it goes back to is this Black Lives Matter shit. And we know that it was a smokescreen for the LGBTQ and whatever else letter. They trying to get P for pedophile in there, or as they put it, I think they changed it to minor attractive persons or some bullshit like that. Trying to soften the shit, you know, pedophile, that's what they are. Anyway, so here it is, our people, what you've fallen for. And you know, when we get to 2 Corinthians 2:11 talks about these devices, you know, of the adversary, so-called white man. This is the way he thinks, and that's what that word devices go to, into his schemes. Our people were fooled. Here you go up here, marching with these degenerates, and that's just what they are. That whole alphabet Skittles, you know, nation, and that's all it is. They're degenerates. Now, the thing was, our people, our so-called leaders, and I never voted for them, but hey, these ones that were propped up have convinced, along with constant program from various sources of media, have convinced our people that because we were oppressed, every other group that is oppressed, we should stand with them. And a lot of people can't see to this day how that is so wrong. And now, the people that have supposedly befriended us over the years, that whole civil rights bullshit, the point being, all those people that supposedly were holding hands with us have gotten over above us. And that's scripture. That's part of the curse. All right? And like I say, these so-called leaders, like I said, they're not mine. But these people sold our people out long ago, and they continue to do so. All right? Hey, let's get, hey, got to go to the scriptures. They sold us out a long, long time ago. And this is one of these old scriptures, you know. But if it keeps happening, you got to keep, damn. This is Zechariah 11:5. It says, whose possessors slay them, and we are, hey, every day there's a new case with this guy in Memphis. It was Jake cops that beat the shit out of him, and eventually he succumbed to his injuries. He died. So you know, he got Ben Crump, you know, down there in Memphis. So here we go again, you know, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Most High Yahweh, for I am rich in their own, here's the point, in their own shepherds. The people that were supposed to look out for you, be, you know, look out for your best interest. No, they pity us not. They pity them not. They got theirs. That's their philosophy. I got mine, you got to get yours. And I got a whole book, you know, that I bought a month ago about, you know, all the shit that these people, how they paper fucked us for oh so long. All things being equal, but they never were and never will be equal. So you keep falling for this shit. Now everybody, and I said I was gonna get that scripture, I almost let it pass. This Deuteronomy is part of the curses. We were told at the beginning, it says what? Blessings for obedience. If we would obey, and as it says in 1, and it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Most High Yahweh thy God will set thee on high above all nations. It tells you that back in the 7th chapter of this very same book. Verse 6, it says we're supposed to be above all nations, all right? But what do? Verse 15 says consequences for what? Breach of contract. And that covenant is a contract between our people and the Most High, Yahweh. Curses for disobedience. It says, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High Yahweh thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. From 16 to 68. That only applies to our people. Now you may have a few that could argue, maybe 2 or 3 that apply or whatever, but the whole thing? Nah. And my point being, here's where the point. Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee, all these immigrants that have come over here, all right, and they built them a life, and more importantly, acquired a generational wealth. And we will always, remember I told you that book, it's called How Did White People Get So Rich? Please get it while it's reasonably priced. I got it for $10. But I guarantee you, because this is the history, every time Great Millstone or any other affiliated camp Israelites bring forth certain books, like Who is Esau Edom? Those books go up astronomically. That's why I encourage you to get that book, How Did White People Get So Rich? Get it as soon as you can. Anyway, it says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Look at how the times before civil rights movement, so-called, how good we did when we were on our own. We had, in that case, separate was indeed better. All right, even though it wasn't considered equal, it was better for us. Now look at us. What it did was all the money is going everywhere else, and we can't. How can you build any kind of strength as a people when y'all? And that was the purpose of that. And on top of that, feminism was introduced. And on top of that, the point is, they attacked us from all angles. Drugs in the neighborhoods, the food, the water, the very basics that are required. It goes into that in the Apocrypha. These basic things that are, that are essential to man. They attack that, and they still are. Even more so now, because now you have a manufactured famine on the way. And yet, here it is. And he's got a point. I'm going to go ahead and read this. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Most High Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. This is how you tell who's who. Everything those fake Israelis over there in our land, see, they have to, that's why they don't go by the scriptures, they go by the Talmud. That's just writings of some demented pedophiles and whatever else they are. All right? In Judaism. That has nothing to do with this. This is our book. This is our Constitution. That's why they don't use it. Aha. See? So let's go back to the article. DeSantis defends banning African American Studies course as Black leaders call for action. Tallahassee. Here's this guy here. Let's go ahead and play that real quick.
This course on Black history, what's one of the lessons about?
Listen.
Queer theory.
Yep.
Now, who would say that an important part of Black
They're trying to squeeze that shit in there.
theory, that is somebody who puts an agenda on kids. When you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda. And so that's the wrong side of the line for Florida standards. We believe in teaching kids facts and how to think, but we don't believe they should have an agenda imposed on them.
And this is why you understand the term when it comes to the so-called intellectuals of our people. They're educated dummies. You keep falling for this bullshit. Oops. Excuse me. Keep falling for this bullshit. Our people were set up to be... See, there's something to be said when you understand you keep referring to yourself as black. Well, what does that mean? That's not a nationality. That's a color. But what does black mean? And when you go into that definition, this is the game that they're playing. So they'll put labels and shit on our people because you got to understand we have no power. And as such, they can just throw shit out there. Oh, these people are black. You know, so all the filth and the dirt and the nasty things, of which those degenerate LGBTQ people, that's what they are. But do you let them latch on to us as a nation? That's not a nation of people. And you hadn't realized that they're trying to compare their so-called plight with ours? That's a fucking insult. And you got this, speaking of which, you got to go there. The so-called black woman, she's somewhere, something. I think she's a Florida state senator. I can't remember her name, but I was watching it on Scripps News. And here she is in favor of this because she's like, well, you should never be just take one side of anything. You know, that's boring. Bullshit, see? Of the woman. Well, let's get it. This is why women should not be in any kind of, especially over a man. I'm trying to, let me move this out the way. Hold on. I don't know why. For some reason now it's not working. There we go. All right, let's go to the Apocrypha. Let's see if I remember where it is. Is it 24, 25? Let's try 25. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Sirach 25, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. And as that, because of that, 25, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. They're so proud because this devil has given them all kinds of benefits and liberty. He gives them all the good jobs. He puts them over us. All right? This is the devil. When devil just means liar and deceiver. All right, in that respect. All right, he's an adversary also. That's another definition for Satan. All right, he's complete contrary. It's like, what world are you people living in? You haven't noticed anything that comes out of these scriptures that he's contrary to? They say in the scriptures, the commandment is to wear what? Modest clothing. They'll walk around butt naked. All right? Sodomites are supposed to be put to death. No, we give them rights. And we establish laws to protect them. But your men, they get shot 60 times in the streets by those people that are supposed to serve and protect. They get railroaded. They get sent to the prisons to do cheap or free labor. And you haven't figured this shit out after all this time? But no, you want to let Everybody attached to us, and we end up on the bottom every fucking time because of these sellouts that they place over us. That's why I have to pray for the Lord to come back quick, because what's happening, what's getting ready to happen here in the very, very near future. All right, like I said, I mentioned earlier, manufactured famine. Oh, that's coming. This shit that's going on in overseas, you better pay particular attention to that. All right, because these people are getting tired of America's bullshit, and it's setting it up for Revelation 17 chapter 15 and 16. All right, they are tired of this bitch. Always in everybody's business. Now they're trying to get the Germans, who are suffering because of what America did over there, you know, their involvement with that pipeline shit over there. All right. They're catching hell over there in Germany. Now they want them to send tanks to Ukraine. And another manufactured bullshit. And that's just something so they can funnel money to those so-called Jews. Those rats. That's all it is. It's just another means for them to fund them fake Israelites over there. Think about it. This fucking president over there in Ukraine, he's related to George Soros, who funded BLM. Wow. They're related. This is well, it's that too, but this is all staged, but what's happening is motherfuckers ain't with it if they ever were. All right, they're not going along. Just they're tired of. Let me rephrase that. They're tired of going along to get along with America. All right, like I say, because this is not going the way that they thought it was going to go. That's if they were ever in it at all. But I'm going by the reaction of these people over here. Especially this thing going on over there with Turkey, saying that they're not going to be, they're not going to approve of I think it was Sweden that wants to join NATO. All right. So what did they do? They burned the Quran in front of the Turkish embassy there. So now Turkey is saying, you know, that's fucked up. Fuck you. And hey. And they're not even Ishmael. You know, those are Edomites, the Turks. You know, yeah, going to their history again. But yeah, this shit is getting ready. It could kick off literally at any time. You know. Hey, so with that, once again, I'll put, of course, this link. You can go into it in detail. I just gave you the synopsis, as you will. Here's this freak right here. This is what you get when you ally yourself with the damn devil. You get these positions like this recent Supreme Court Associate Justice. What's that Jake woman? She married to an Edomite. Could be. I never even, concern myself to check into it. I imagine he's a small hat. You know, look at Kamala Harris, who she's married to is definitely a small hat. You know, that's your reward. This is representative of, Eve in the garden with the serpent. And guess who the serpent is? That same spirit. All right. So again, here we are. Giving everybody something that's ours, and in this case, you're letting people use our cause, springboard off of it, then all of a sudden they got far more rights than you. And that's the case with this LGBTQ bullshit. All right, because again, going back to that so-called civil rights bullshit, who really profited the most off of that? The white woman, so-called, and that motherfucking LGBTQ clan. That's it. After that, the fathers were thrown out the house. I just watched a documentary on that came out, I guess, 3 years ago on Chicago. They tore down uh, Cabrini Green and all those, public housing. I mean, and just it's real sad. It's real sad. It's real sad. But in any case, we're always left holding the bag, so to speak. That's why we gotta get the fuck up out of here, because they just know that we're gonna always be the what's the word I want to use? The doormat, But our time is up. Lamentations 4, 21 and 22. It's your turn, Esau. Descendants of Esau, the nation of Edom, the so-called white man, it's your turn. We're going to look at your sins. All right, it's your turn. Hey, so with that, to the next video, shalom.